All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Week 2 installment here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority of our weekly presentation of Ohio High School Friday Night Football. My name is Dewey Daly. Alongside me tonight, my dad, Tim Daly. Carson Francis going to be handling the camera operation for us tonight. Bit of a crosstown non-conference rivalry game here tonight at, I believe we're going to call it Trojan Coliseum, as the Portsmouth Trojans are going to play host to the crosstown rival, the Senators of Portsmouth West. Portsmouth West going to start out on the offensive side of the ball tonight. We look back at their Week 1 matchup, especially for Portsmouth West. We look at Fairland, a 14-3 loss. However, in that game, I don't have it right in front of me, I believe they had over 300 yards of offense and held Fairland to just around 150. So kind of an odd loss there for the Senators as they go deep and connect on a long pass to number 13, Cole Tipton. I'm going to say he stepped out of bounds around the 40-yard line of Portsmouth.
They come out in a little 2x2 gun, what we would call rocket or laser, ran a little what we'd call 61 cross go. And to be quite honest, I thought when the quarterback turned that ball loose, he was throwing it away. Kid had made a really nice play on the ball, ran under it, got two great hands on it, and actually made a play after the catch and was forced out of bounds.
Official marking going to be just in front of the 41-yard line.
We're in a pistol look now.
And the snap gets away from Irwin. He'll go back and jump on top of it around his own 42, 43-yard line. So that puts the Senators back in their own territory. We'll talk about Irwin a little bit last game. 11 for 28, 208 yards through the air, completed 2 touchdown passes along with 2 interceptions. But that's not really their main goal here. Is senior running back Ryan Sissel ran for over 1,500 yards a season ago, held to 59 yards on 19 carries last game. No touchdowns for Sissel, who averaged a touchdown a game last year. So I would expect Sissel to get more involved tonight and get a little better yards per carry as well. So 2nd and 26 here. Irwin drops back in the pocket, going to let another one loose. He's got his man, number 18, Jeffrey Bishop. And he'll streak into the end zone for a 57-yard touchdown. It gets Portsmouth West out in front, 6-0 here with 10:51 to go in the first quarter.
Okay. I didn't think I hadn't seen this in a while, but I'm just going to tell you as a coach, you can't play cover 3 against a 2x2. Again, 2 guys down the hash, look at one, throw to the other. Absolutely perfect strike and a great catch. But it's never that easy, but that was pretty easy.
Cole Mahner going to set up for the extra point attempt here. Snap is good, holds down. And the kick no, it does not. It is no good, which that could end up playing an important factor here, is losing 14-13 a week ago against Fairland. It came down to a missed extra point for the Senators, so hopefully, maybe next time they score, able to get a 2-point conversion and even things up here score-wise. But we talk about Jeffrey Bishop right there, a 57-yard score last week for Bishop, 3 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown, a 65-yarder. So you knew the big play threat was there with Bishop, and you're even, you're leaving, and Bishop took that one to the house for 57 yards.
I mean, from a schematic standpoint, that's not sound defense. You can't play 3 deep against 4 wide receivers. You just can't do it. Now, you can sit there and say, and again, that's if the time, the offensive line provides enough time for them to throw, which obviously they did. But absolutely a perfect pass right down the seam. I mean, you couldn't. That's football 101.
Now that Portsmouth is going to start off on offense here, we'll go ahead and look into what their Week 1 matchup was like. And contrary to what most Week 1 matchups were like, this one on a Thursday night just up the road in Lucasville, they were able to take that one 42-28, a game they trailed 14-7 at halftime. As we get a little, I don't even know what they call that, a sort of squib, pooch kind of kick. Recovered by the Senators on their own 45-yard line, but by the Trojans on their own 45. But
honestly, I think it was an onside kick, just not a very good one. I mean, I'm looking at the way that West reacted. I personally believe that was an onside kick.
But the score at halftime of that Lucasville Valley-Portsmouth game, 14-7 in favor of the Indians. A 28-point third quarter for the Trojans, more or less sealed the deal in that one. A big guy you're going to see here tonight, Devin Lattimore, went 6 catches for 159 yards. There he is right there catching the screen pass to the left side, although great defense by Portsmouth West. Probably going to give him forward progress. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, bring up a second 10 or 11. But Lattimore, 6 catches, 159, 3 touchdowns. And quarterback Tyler Duncan, 18 for 30 for 286 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. Didn't do much on the ground against Lucasville Valley. Only had, I believe, 1 rushing touchdown. That came on the legs of Bo Hamilton, who went 13 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown late in the third quarter. So, you know, the game plan here, if anything like it was against Lucasville Valley, going to be extremely pass-heavy. But the screen pass right there didn't go for much, so we may see something change as Duncan able to find somebody over the middle. It was number 80. I believe that's his brother, Jaden Duncan.
Again, Portsmouth's in the same look that Lucasville was in. It's a 2-by-2, or some people call that a 22, and a pistol formation. And I can tell you, too, if Portsmouth can run the football, Portsmouth West is begging Portsmouth to run the football. And if you notice, the difference is Portsmouth West has 2 people on the roof. So they're playing a cover 3 or cover 4.
Duncan in the shotgun. Empty right look here. Going to get one guy motioning to the right side. Duncan going to take it himself. And maybe gets a yard. That'll bring up a 4th and 1 or 2.
That was an outstanding play by Cade Woods. Played off the block, stayed at home, made contact in the backfield with the quarterback. Quarterback was lucky that he got maybe a half a yard. But again, brings up a, you know, it's early, but a big play here for Portsmouth to maintain possession of the football. And I can assure you, they should be able to run for a first down. I mean, they got 5 guys in the box.
Duncan drops back, going to make a pass to the right side.
He got it on his own.
I believe may have just gotten the first down.
He gave it to him.
Number 45, Bo Hamilton. Sorry, Bo. It was Bo Hammond. Just enough for the Trojan first down that'll move the sticks.
Well, they ain't moved him yet, but they should move him.
Well, I believe it was 4th down.
It was 4th down. So, oh, you know what? The sticks might have been wrong. Because I had it, yeah, it was 4th down, yeah. He should have extended the ball. You know, you got to know where you're at, but he did make it by a half a ball.
Duncan in the shotgun, going to give it to Hammond, who goes right up the middle. He's going to be brought down right in front of the 41-yard line for a gain of 4. Bring up a 2nd down and 6. You know, there were some questions around this Portsmouth team heading into this year. 8-4, 4-2 in the OVC last year. You had Tyler Duncan, although a senior, it's going to be his first year playing quarterback as he's going to replace Drew Rowe. Drew Rowe throwing for 1,286 yards last year, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So, you know, pretty big shoes to fill for Duncan, but, you know, went 286 for 4 touchdowns and an interception last week against Lucasville Valley. So off to a pretty good start here. As Duncan going to roll out to the left side. He's got his man. It's number 40, Reed Pendleton. And that'll be enough for a Trojan first down.
Again, too, not able to create because they're playing coverage, not really very able to create much pressure on the quarterback. So, you know, he's got probably an extra beat or 2 back there to find a receiver. That time, pretty easy deal there with a little combination route underneath. Read it high-low, came to the low, let him pick up a first down.
Pendleton, 4 catches for 39 yards in the win against Lucasville Valley. Also had 2 carries for 7 yards, one of those finding the end zone rushing. Gives them a new set of downs here on the Portsmouth West 31-yard line. Duncan turns to his right, fakes the handoff to Hammond, going to throw it to number 40, Reed Pendleton, and he'll get right across the 30-yard line around the 29 or 8 for a pickup of 3 yards.
Okay, again, that to me is nothing more than an extended handoff. And if Portsmouth can get that ball in his hands sooner, they will be able to make a little bit more hay with that play. But again, all they're doing is moving the line of scrimmage outside the hash when they do that.
2nd down and 7, just under 7 minutes to go here in the opening quarter of this crosstown rivalry matchup in the Portsmouth Trojans and Portsmouth West Senators. Duncan looking to his right. He's got his man. It's Pendleton again. Not much gained on the play, maybe a yard. Should bring up a 3rd and 6 or 5.
I'm going to say from Portsmouth's style of football we've seen so far, that right there, that's a running play.
Well, Pendleton actually listed on the roster as a running back, but last game only had 2 carries, had 4 catches.
Yeah.
So you got to, maybe he's used as kind of that wide back role, a hybrid guy.
Quad empty.
He's lined up, I believe, over here by himself.
So you get no pressure.
Through the hands of Lattimore. Would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 on the Portsmouth West 27-yard line.
Again, a typical, high school type of mistake where the kid, not afraid to go get the ball, just in a hurry to get the ball and hurried himself right through a catch. If he catches the ball, like you said, if he catches it and gets tackled,
2 or 3 yards past the sticks.
All you got to do is fall down because he's catching it right at the sticks. But he was trying to make a big play, end up not making a play at all.
Well, right here, obviously going to be a pass play. You got quads left. You got number 10 over here, Nolan Highland by himself.
Sprint out to his left.
Whatever routes they're running here, you got to run into the sticks. Is Duncan under a ton of pressure, rolling to his right, and he'll just throw it away. That'll be a turnover on downs for the Trojans, and that'll give the Senators possession on their own 27-yard line with 5:57 to go here in the 1st quarter.
Again, I think so far what we've seen, West Portsmouth has been the more physical team. I like the way they play their defense. Obviously, a little more sound with the cover 2, cover 4, which is the concept that you have to go with when you're facing quads and trips with a single. And anytime there's a backfield, you can't play cover 3. You cannot play cover 3. We'll see if Portsmouth makes an adjustment here, because I can assure you West Portsmouth is going to come out and try to do the same things they did with that first possession. They're going to try to do again.
Well, I was guesstimating earlier because I didn't have him in front of me. Now I do. Ryan Sissel's 2021 season went as followed. 246 carries for 1,518 yards. That's 6.2 yards per carry. Averaged 138 yards per game and got in the end zone 11 times. I believe they played 11 games, either 10 or 11. Averaged at least a touchdown a game. So Sissel going to be a big factor for the Senators here tonight. And Jeffrey Bishop, a guy we've already seen take one to the house from deep.
Well, see, now they're playing man free.
Yep, Sissel up the middle. And we will have a flag on the play.
Not sure what happened. He might have got a mask, but I think I seen him signal holding. Yeah.
And it will go against Portsmouth West. That'll move them back. What was the call? Holding?
Yes.
So that'll move them back 10 yards to their own 17. That'll bring up a 1st down and 20 from their own territory. Irwin comes out in the shotgun. Sissel right behind him. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Irwin looking to the left side. He's got a man. It's number 13, Cole Tipton. And he'll be taken out of bounds right around the 29-yard line for a pickup of 12.
Again, because of the down and distance there. A little bit soft coverage on the outside. Again, singled up coverage, man free. Just ran a simple hitch, good timing. Ball was on time. It was actually delivered to the outside a little bit, which is good. And they picked up 12 yards and got themselves back in a 2nd and manageable.
2nd and 8 here for Mitchell Irwin in the Senator offense. Irwin going to roll out to his right. Looking for a man on the sideline. He's got number 1, Trevor Fike. Looked like a pickup of about 5 yards. Bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Very manageable. Again, full sprint out, little out route on the end, good timing, ball thrown well. Had a little wobble to it, but the guy makes a catch, gets tackled right where they are, and we go from 1st and 20 to 3rd and about 4. Very manageable. But has Portsmouth West run the ball since? I would not look for a run here either. Old 23 back here, he's a lonely dog. He's a big kid, too.
Irwin in the shotgun. 2 receivers both ways.
be
Sissel
daggone.
right up the middle. Breaks 2 or 3 tackles, pushing forward, and has the
down.
first down, taken
First
down
down.
right on his own 40-yard line. A big-time run by Ryan Sissel.
He got that. It was blocked pretty well at the point of attack, but he got a lot of that on his own.
Well, I'd say he shed 2 or 3 and drug 2 or 3 along for the ride.
Yeah, they've got him at 6'1", 220. That's a nice size high school running back right there.
Tough guy to tackle.
That's a nice size Division I running back right there.
Looks like we got Tipton over here by himself. Irwin going to roll out to the right. Looks like he may keep it himself. No, going to let it go at the last second, looking for number 11, Alex Blevins.
He just a little bit indecisive. Probably could have picked up 5 yards if he pulls it down, but thought he saw a bigger play. Again, first down, no big deal.
2nd down and 10. 4:21 to go here in the first quarter. A 6-0 lead for the Senators. So they have Brandon Barfield kind of as a split end to the right side. I can't quite tell who's by himself on the right side, but it doesn't matter. They're going to hand it off to Sissel, who's still on his feet after breaking 2 or 3 tackles. A pickup of what appeared to be 15 or 16 yards. That puts the Senators in Trojan territory with a new set of downs.
I can assure you this, if Portsmouth doesn't do a better job on defending the run, they're going to have major problems because Portsmouth West has thrown the ball without a whole lot of pressure to begin with. If they start banging them with this could be bad. And that kid is tough. That's a tough kid.
Coming out in the same formation here is Portsmouth West. Going to get a motion here from Bishop. Once again, Sissel right up the middle, makes a couple juke moves. And looks like it's going to be another first down run for Ryan Sissel.
Again, just a simple inside zone off the motion the other direction to get him thinking that way. Don't be surprised, too, if he sticks it in there and pulls it out and runs a zone read with the quarterback the other way. Don't know what kind of runner the quarterback is, but if he's any kind of runner right now, they've got him set up for a big play.
Had 11 carries for 47 yards last week against Fairland.
Now, I wonder how many of those were carries or scrambles, but yeah.
Same look here for the Senators.
They have set that play up for sure. Same motion the other way.
Bit of a bad snap here. Irwin just pushing Sissel ahead for a lead block. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
I'm not 100% sure, but that looked like that was going to be zone read. Again, I don't know if he's reading that or if they're predetermining that call, but they are set up. They are set up because Portsmouth's having a hard time defending it. Let's face it, they busted them with the pass the first drive, and after that holding penalty on first down, which was a run, they basically run it down their throats to get to the point where they're at now. And to tell you the truth, I wouldn't look for anything to change here soon.
2nd and 10 coming out in a doubles look. Sissel right behind Irwin. It's a pass. Irwin scrambling to the right. Directing traffic, going to let it go to the right side. Almost a nice grab by number 18, Jeffrey Bishop. Pass is incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 from the Trojan 30-yard line.
Again, he had a wideout open over here, but he never did look left. He had a little spot route over here that the guy had all kinds of cushion. He'd probably pretty close to making a first down. Now they've got themselves in a 3rd and 10. For sure here, I think you look, they'll probably throw, but you could get screen or draw off of this as well.
3rd and 10, trips to the left side. Irwin back in the gun. Looking to his left side, under a ton of pressure. He's got a man wide open down the field. The ball comes out.
That's a touchdown.
And it's going to be a touchdown.
For sure.
Ball was originally caught by number 19, Brandon Barfield. That came loose, and I believe Bishop is the one who got on top of it for the score.
Well, it was the second player in. I know that. Because the first player, he almost recovered it at about the half-yard line. He's the one that kind of scooted it into the end zone. But not a Portsmouth player within 5 yards of the ball.
So I believe Portsmouth West going to try to go for 2 here.
And you know why they're going for 2?
Get it back to 14.
Oh, because they can't go for 3.
Oh, well.
What do you think this is, Dewey? Full sprint out. They're a man short. Full sprint out to the right. Yeah, they got to burn.
You hate burning timeouts on,
that drives me
extra
crazy.
point attempts.
Yeah. Well, I hate burning timeouts on anything where you've been through it literally a dozen times a day in practice, and you make a call, and unfortunately Johnny's over here sucking on a water bottle. He didn't get the call.
Well, you know, scored my first high school touchdown just that same
You
way.
Absolutely did. I got a picture of it.
A run play that was the running back tackled about the 4 or 5 yard line, and somehow or another it's poked out, rolls right into the end zone, hit a little pop-up slide.
I don't remember who caught the pass.
Oh, it was a run. It was Nick Crow.
Oh, okay.
Running it to the left
That's
side.
Right. That's right. On the left hash, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was out there.
And it was in the north end zone, too.
Yeah, right by the scoreboard.
But I was on the visitor side over by the gate when that happened. So I'm like, I can't, you get a score. I just can't believe
I got a sticker for it.
Yeah, I can't believe that's how you got your first score.
So a 12-0 lead here for the Senators. Looking to make it 14 here on the PAT. Missed the extra point attempt the first time around, so they try to get back to 14 here.
They absolutely changed the formation. You don't see this very often.
Super I.
Well, they call it a triple I.
Hand off to Sissel, right up the gut and into the blue turf for a 2-point conversion and a 14-0 lead for the Senators here late in the first quarter.
I'm going to tell you this. I don't want to down anybody, but if Portsmouth don't get a couple of things, if they don't respond offensively and don't get some adjustments or play harder, more physical on defense, Portsmouth West has absolutely dominated this first 10 minutes of this football game.
Well, it's definitely been a ground and pound game so far, and really the first drive for the Senators, Sissel maybe got 1 or 2 carries. He didn't really have that much of an opportunity because it was Irwin to Bishop for 57 yards.
I'm not even sure he touched the ball. And, I mean, I can see now when you're talking about this kid rushed for 1,500 yards.
138 yards a game.
I'm riding that horse.
Yep.
I mean, this kid's a man. I mean, he is, 6'1", 220. And that don't look like that's overstated either.
And he's not slow.
No. And he runs with a forward lean. And he's not avoiding any contact
when you got a guy that big running downhill, and he gets past the line and then the linebackers.
Yeah.
And
You're a DB. You hate seeing this kid come at you.
2 men back deep for the Trojans. Going to be another squib kick. It gets away from the Trojans. However, number 2, Chase Highland, able to get on top of it on his own 33-yard line. That's where the Trojan offense will start off here and try to get on the board, try to cut down this 14-point Senator lead here with 2:19 to go in the first quarter.
I'm not really saying that Portsmouth has to score, but Portsmouth definitely has to possess the ball.
Well,
they've got to make a couple of first downs.
Put together a pretty decent drive.
They sure did.
Really, I don't want to say probably would have scored, but if Lattimore makes the catch over there on third down, or I believe it was third down where that play happened, he was probably
enough. Fourth down, fourth down the throw was really bad.
So Duncan looking to his left side. He's got a man. It's number 10, Nolan Highland, who gets across the 50 and into Senator territory. A big-time gain there for Portsmouth, and, you need to answer back here. That's a good way to start. It goes down as a 22-yard gain. They're going to mark it right on the Senator 45-yard line.
Again, that's a Portsmouth running play. That's their idea of running. Have they handed the ball to the running back yet?
I believe Hammond has had a couple carries. Hammond right behind Duncan. Will take it right up the middle. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage before being driven back. No gain on the play to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Again, just a simple inside zone, but the quarterback really didn't carry out his fake. So my guess is that's not a zone read. That's his standard inside zone, and they're not making use of the quarterback. Now, their quarterback's not nearly as physical looking as West Portsmouth's quarterback is. He is 5'10", 152, and the 152 looks okay. I'm not sure that kid's 5'10".
Second down and 10, 1:20 to go here in the opening quarter of this crosstown battle. Duncan rolling to his right side. He's got Lattimore,
Good throw.
who will get out of bounds right at the 40-yard line for a pickup of 5.
Good, and again, probably now have slipped into 4-down territory and gotten themselves to a manageable 3rd and 5. Again, just don't have the run game to depend on in situations like that to even threaten to run.
Well, we talked about Sissel on the offensive side of things. We haven't even talked about him on the defensive side of things. 103 tackles last year. That was second on his team.
Well, look at the kid. No, that kid's a beast, man. He's a beast.
A couple other guys to look for on defense. Trevor Fike, a junior linebacker, 77 tackles. Jack Jordan had 3 sacks. That was a team high last season.
Good throw.
Throw just gets over the hands of Jaden Duncan. That'll bring up another 4th down for this Trojan offense with 5 yards to go.
Again, just missed him wide, which, again, if you're going to miss him wide. Just like if you're going to miss him long. But that puts them in a situation now where it's 4th and 5, got to make a play. And they're exactly in the same situation that they were, the first possession. They're about the 40-yard line and got himself a little situation here. Okay, a little 2-by-2 pistol. Now they've switched to what we would call rocket. Oh, you're going to kick it. Oh, don't kick it here.
And the punt will just trickle into the end zone for a touchback. That'll allow the Portsmouth West offense to start off, I believe, in high school on the 25-yard line.
That should be the 20 on a touchback. Is it?
It's either the 20 or the 25.
25 on a kickoff touchback.
20 on a punt.
Yes. At least that's what my memory, yeah. Same thing with the NFL. Don't they throw it on the 25 on a kickoff?
You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know if there's a difference.
No, there's a difference between a punt and a kick.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I didn't know if there was a difference between a punt or a kickoff.
Same thing in college. If they fair catch it, it goes to the 25.
Well, everything in college is a fair catch now because you can fair catch it inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
So a 14-0 lead here for Portsmouth West. A chance here to really bust it open, make it a 20, 21, 22-point game in the first half. The first drive, they ran a couple plays, and there was the big pass from Irwin to Bishop, and then the second drive, there were a couple, nickel and dime passes every once in a while, but it was mainly Ryan Sissel just going the distance and ended up getting repaid, or actually, I don't even remember who ended up. Oh, it was the
fumble.
The fumble.
Yeah. Here's what I'm telling you, and again, it's early in the game with a minute to go in the quarter. Portsmouth cannot allow West Portsmouth to go down and march down and score here. They cannot. If they do, they've got a problem.
Irwin going to hand it off to the jet sweep. That's Bishop, who's got some room to run, break some tackles. We've got a flag on the play. Bishop taken down right at the 40-yard line. But I'm assuming this one could be coming back. Yep, going to have a hold on the Senators. That'll push them back to the 10-yard line, facing a 1st and 20. But you look back to last drive, that's exactly how the last drive started. A first play holding call.
Yeah.
I don't remember the yardage gained on the play. It probably wasn't as big
yards.
as that.
They 12 yards on first down. They caught a little pass over here. They had a little 2nd and 8, and they picked up a run, and then they figured out, hey, we can run a little bit, and the next thing you know, they're down here knocking on the door. Now, I really do think they will throw here, but, again, when you got 23 in the backfield, you can run anytime you want.
You got Bishop and Blevins to the left. On the top of the screen, Cole Tipton. Bishop in motion again, fakes the handoff to him. Sissel right up the gut. and is taken down right around right around the 11 or 12 yard line. Not a whole lot picked up on the play.
Again, I like the play call because you think jet sweep is something that they're likely to see, and then they come back in with the. And again, I don't think he's reading that, so I'll just call that the inside zone, but well defended by Portsmouth.
We actually do have a play clock.
Yeah, it's down here too.
We have 2 play clocks here this week at Portsmouth, so we can't actually. So
Yeah.
they are going to have to run a play here. There's about a 2.5, 3 second difference between the play and game clock.
Yeah.
Irwin going to hand it off to Sissel to the left side. Almost a big block from Tipton. And he'll be taken down just in front of the 20-yard line. That'll bring us to the end of the opening quarter.
Listen, they just picked up a first down. They got 17 for throwing a punch. I guarantee he's out of the game, and they just got a first down. After the play. Way after the play. Didn't see what precipitated it prior to the punch, but 17 threw a punch.
Well, emotions already through the roof here at the Trojan Coliseum. We'll take a break as we head into the second quarter. You are watching Ohio High School Friday Night Football right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at SOSAOhio.com.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Welcome back in here to the Trojan Coliseum, a 14-point first quarter lead for the Portsmouth West Senators. They're going to start off this quarter on offense. Almost picked up a first down on the late penalty there at the end of the first quarter. Going to be 3rd down and 2. But with Ryan Sissel, I'd say that's almost a guaranteed first down, even if you know it's coming. Sissel, not an easy guy to take down.
Well, you know what? I thought a defensive personal foul was an automatic first down.
Now, here's something also that's interesting. Okay, it got flipped now. The chain
Down
gang
marker,
had it as second down, and on the scoreboard it was 3rd down. So I was trying to
always go with the scoreboard.
Yep. So 3rd down and 2, I formation here.
He's definitely getting the ball.
Now they're going to hand it off to the fullback. I believe that's number 7, Hayden Lohr. Lohr actually stuffed on the play, only picked up a yard. So a big-time decision here. Do you chance it, or do you punt it?
Big play for Portsmouth. That right there, that single play right there, keeps them and gives them a little bit of new life.
I tell you what, with Ryan Sissel, I'm going for it right here.
This is not very smart right here.
Handed it off to Lohr last time, the fullback. This time, Irwin just going to take it himself and gets across the 30-yard line. And a couple more helmets flying off. That will be enough for a first down.
He's got to go out for a play.
So another quarterback listed on the roster would be number 12, Brody Hall. That's a freshman. And that is the only other quarterback listed on the roster. So we may, and they're not going to make him come out, actually.
Wow. Now we know that's a rule. I can tell you too. I mean, you know, I'm not mad
about the helmet.
No. I'm not mad about going for it on 4th down, and I'm not mad at him. But it's not very sound. You're up 14-0. You're on the road. You've gotten the better of it. I think you punt that football. But here we are. What do I know? First down.
1st and 10 on their own 34. Irwin going to take it himself again. If he doesn't fall down there, might have double-digit yardage on the run.
For sure, he's still running.
Going to mark him just in front, maybe right at the 39-yard line. So it was a pickup of 5 on the play. Could have been a pickup of 55, or sorry, 55, and been a touchdown. But Irwin getting tripped up on his way through the line. Still a gain of 5 on first down. That's something you'll take every time, especially with a back like Ryan Sissel.
Again, they've gone from basically empty to double tight, triple I.
Triple I here. Sissel going to get it to the left side. Spins off a couple of defenders past the 45. A first down run for Ryan Sissel. And it looks like we have a Trojan defender down on the play.
Looked like to me the kid was holding his hamstring. I hope it's a hamstring and not a knee. He's up. Maybe he just rolled his ankle. The way he's actually holding himself now, he might have got kicked in the you-know-what.
They're taking a bow.
The way he got hit in his Happy Meal.
Hit in a place you don't want to be hit.
No, not at any time and any place. Not even a good wind.
10:09 to go here in the second quarter. If you're just now joining us, welcome in to the Week 2 installment here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority of our weekly presentation of Ohio High School Friday Night Football. Dewey Daly, my dad Tim Daly, alongside me here at Trojan Coliseum.
It's a great venue, great high school.
Tell you what,
venue.
you can't really see it on the camera, but you look beyond the visitors' stands, and it's pretty nice backdrop.
Historical. You got to look at this big cathedral. I mean, you got some nice old. Portsmouth is a very, very old town with a lot of history.
Sissel powering ahead. The last couple yards going backwards for a pick of a 6 or 7 on the play. Looks like it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Or sorry, a 2nd down and 4. Tell you what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep feeding the big man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't outthink yourself. The game can be pretty simple. You got good cards to play your good cards. You know, they're not searching for anything. Everything that they've done has turned out pretty well. You know, and like I said, going from double tight, triple I to gun empty.
Irwin back to pass under a lot of pressure. Evades 2 tacklers. Will dish it off to Sissel. A great play by Irwin. Sissel putting his head down. Crossed the 35-yard line. What a play by Mitchell Irwin. Aware of his surroundings right before being taken down, able to pitch it. We've seen a lot of guys try that play. A lot of times not successful. This time able to find his guy. And who better to find than Ryan Sissel, who takes that for a pickup of what? Probably 20, 25 yards there. Obviously not a designed play, but a great thinking on the run there from Irwin and great execution from Sissel after the catch.
Well, and the bad thing about it is we talked about at the end of that run, he ran into a guy that's 173 pounds, and he's 220 in the open field. That's not nice.
Irwin lined up in the gun. Bishop in motion. Snap gets away from Irwin. Makes 2 guys miss, but not before being taken down by a couple of Trojan defenders right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a loss of 5 on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Portsmouth West offense.
You want to call that? Tight left, twins right?
I'd say double tight maybe. It'll be a jet sweep to Bishop, who will cut it in before taking it back out to the left side. Taken down about the 38-yard line. Not a whole lot gained on the play. Bring up a 3rd and 12.
Again, not real smooth ball handling. Not real smooth ball handling by the West Senators on this possession, these last 3 or 4 plays. A little bit sloppy.
Well, we have seen, and not necessarily there, but we've seen a couple poor snaps back to Irwin, or good snaps that Irwin just has trouble handling.
I think it's more the second. I don't think they haven't. I mean, have they been great? Maybe not great, but they certainly have been able to be handled.
Irwin drops back to pass, looking to the right side. Will pull it down, take it for himself. We've got a flag on the play. Irwin just gets back to the original line of scrimmage. We've got a man down towards the top of the screen on the 20-yard line. We also have a flag on the play, assuming it's probably going to be holding here. But if you're Portsmouth, do you accept this?
I think you decline it.
Either get 4th and 10 or 3rd and 22.
Yeah, they'll probably take it. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I probably would not have taken that. I would say you have a much better.
Here's the deal. If they don't take the penalty, they're in a position to go for it on 4th down.
But it's 4th and 10.
I know, but still but they don't lose much by not getting it. Out here, if you get an incomplete pass here and you end up with 4th and 20, you're going to get a punt.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe a little bit better field position, obviously, with,
what you're banking on is these guys won't. I mean, obviously, if they gain 10 yards on this play, we're right back to where we started from. They're saying, we'll take our chances, we'll move
We think
away.
we can hold them to 10 yards, 9 or less.
In 2 plays, in 2 plays. Now, this big play because, again, I don't think that West Portsmouth is going to call a play that they think they're going to gain 20 yards on. I think they're going
to try to shorten it up or get it to what it would have been.
Yeah, a measurable deal. Inside less than 10 yards. We'll see what they do.
7:07 to go here in the first half of this non-conference battle between the Portsmouth Trojans and the visiting Portsmouth West Senators.
Yeah, they're calling it 24.
3rd down and 24 from the Trojan 49-yard line.
Okay, now wait. They're in cover 3 again, Dewey.
Irwin drops back. Looks like it's a screen to Sissel. Runs into his own guy. Will come up just short of the Trojan 49-yard line. Only a pickup of 4 on the play.
But they definitely did throw 17 out of the game.
Bring up a 4th down and 20.
And I will say, I didn't get the number of him, but the lineman was tackling Sissel before he caught the pass.
Yeah,
a great play.
I saw it coming. And I'm sure that's a play they've ran.
Here, to me, you punt the football. Yes, and that's what they're going to do. So the percentages did work out for them because they did force a punt, but we'll see where they get it.
Punter for the Senators, number 19, Brandon Barfield. The guy we've seen line up. It's kind of the split end on offense for the Senators. Back deep, number 3, Devin Lattimore, had a big game last week against Lucasville Valley and actually earned Southern Ohio Sports Authority's OVC Player of the Week honors.
He blocked that. That's a great punt.
Go out of bounds, maybe just in front of the 10-yard line.
Wow.
A great punt there from Barfield.
Oh, my. Oh, my. He missed that by 2 or 3 yards.
Looks like they're going to mark it right on the 10-yard line.
Not that I think it makes a heck of a lot of difference, but again, what Portsmouth cannot do with 6 minutes to go in the half. They don't have to score, but they've got to hold on to the ball and at least make a couple of first downs. And if they have to punt it back to them, at least, get some room, more room than they have currently. They're definitely throwing. Empty.
Duncan by himself in the backfield, drops back, looking to the left side. He's got a man. It's his brother,
all day long.
Jaden Duncan. And his helmet comes flying off again. We've seen a couple helmets fall off, and we're going to have a flag on the play. I'm assuming that's on Portsmouth West, as it looked like there may have been some anglais being thrown around after the play.
You mean language? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Some langue.
So that'll bring up a new set of downs plus 15 yards.
That helps.
For the Trojans.
That helps. That might get them going.
Jaden Duncan got to come out for a play because his helmet came off, but we've also seen that rule not be enforced, so.
Well, again, too, I thought, I'm not trying to down the kid or anything, but, my understanding is if you throw a punch that results in a personal foul, that's an ejection.
Well, he may not have deemed it as necessarily as a punch. May have more just deemed it as an unsportsmanlike penalty, maybe as a shove. I didn't see it.
I saw it. He hit him in the head with his hand. I don't know what you want to call it. It wasn't exactly it wasn't no Mike Tyson or anything like that, but that's what makes it kind of even not sillier.
Duncan comes out in the shotgun. Right behind him, number 45, Bo Hammond. Duncan will give it to Hammond to the right side. He's got some room to run. A nice tackle by number 2, Mason Parker.
Again, still plenty of time to go in the half. You might ask yourself, why are they running now? Well, the clock's not much of an issue, really, yet.
Well, and, with 5:20 and you're kind of a hybrid offense, you can throw and run. I'd say 5 minutes is pretty manageable now. If you're a run-first, run-heavy team, you might have some issues.
Well, let's face it. If Portsmouth can put a couple of plays together, we'll be able to get a score.
And they also have all 3 timeouts,
and they've got the ball coming to them in the second half. They're right in this game. They just have somebody has to make a play here.
Duncan looking to the left. He loses the football, able to get back on top of it. Now around his 5-yard line. Going to have to get rid of it. He'll throw it downfield and out of bounds. Luckily, Lattimore in the vicinity of the pass.
It's a silly play. And then it ends up being a great play because he got everything out of that play he could get, which was to have it by enough time to get it thrown away. And thrown away, if it makes any sense to you, thrown away accurately.
Yep. Well, you saw he had Lattimore coming back to him. You just got to have enough strength to get it kind
over
of
his
in
head
the
out
area
of
Lattimore.
Yeah.
So to bring up a 3rd down and 8 here for Tyler Duncan in this Trojan offense.
The worst part of that is it stops the clock.
Really, since the turnover on downs, which was in Senator territory, which was kind of down in the area that they're at now, although now it would be on the other side of the field, they really haven't been able to get much going. And I believe we're going to have a Portsmouth timeout. It'll be their first of the half. So 4:53 to go here in the first quarter. In the first half, second quarter. A 14-point lead for the Senators, and a 3rd down and 8 from their own 33 for the home team, the Portsmouth Trojans. Portsmouth looking to go to 2-0 on the year, as their first one of the year came at Lucasville Valley last Thursday, so actually had an extra day of rest coming into this game. I don't think really that makes that big of a deal.
No, I don't. It's not like the NFL playing Sunday, Thursday. No,
right.
You're not getting that. But my guess is they probably just took an extra day off, and that ended
probably
up being
just took
Friday.
Yeah, probably just took Friday off.
Yeah.
Go out, maybe go to the Portsmouth West game that was on Friday and get a little real-life film session.
Well, I guarantee you the coaching staff was there.
So maybe that could be considered an advantage. I'd say it's...
Well, they got to see it firsthand, but they're going to get the film anyway.
Right.
Especially now with everything streamed, and even schools do their own private streaming, and
yep.
Ends up not being that big of a deal.
So we've got a wide receiver stack on the bottom of the screen. Duncan alone in the backfield. He'll drop back. Under some pressure, and he's brought down for the sack. Hayden Lohr comes up big with the 3rd down sack for Portsmouth West. And that most likely going to force a Trojan punt here on 4th and long.
And the unfortunate part of that is that Portsmouth West only rushed 3 people. And he did have time to throw, but he wanted to come to number 3 down the left hash here. But
yep.
He was really double covered and really almost triple covered.
Well, you look at number 7, Hayden Lohr, We've seen him line up in kind of the fullback position on offense. Plays defensive end.
Yeah.
5'5", 167.
He must be a tough kid.
Made a big play there. Puts them at 4th down and 17. Not enough time to get the punt off, and he's tackled. That's Duncan, who is also the punter for the Trojans, brought down on his own 10-yard line. So the Senators will start off this drive 1st and goal on the Trojan 10-yard line. You just can't have that.
No. And this right here, I hate it, but this could, high school kids' dispositions are fairly fragile to begin with. And if they give up, especially if they give up like in 1 or 2 plays here, I mean, you'll start seeing.
I'd say we could see
a different body language from Portsmouth. And really, you've seen a little bit of it to start. But again, they're not out of this game, but a score here.
Sissel to the left side. A nice stop by the D-line of the Trojans. Sissel may have picked up a yard or 2 on the play.
He got more than that.
I think they're going to mark it at the 7 or 8 yard line.
No, he's about to 7. Yeah, maybe 7, inside the 7.
Unfortunately for Portsmouth, I just can't see a team holding Ryan Sissel to under 10 yards on 4 carries, especially the way he's played tonight.
You know what the sad part about that is? If West Portsmouth feeds him, I think he carries the ball again here just to keep the clock rolling.
Bishop in motion. They're going to give it to him. Bishop to the left side. Sissel out to block. Going to cut it back up.
Touchdown.
And diving into the end zone is Jeffrey Bishop. A 7-yard rushing touchdown. And that puts that puts the Senators up 20-0 with 3:08 to go here in the second quarter.
Well, is trying to find something positive here.
They get the ball to start the second half.
No. Well, I'm saying they got 3 minutes to go here. They can actually score and double down and score twice before West Portsmouth ever touches the ball. And then, then we're talking maybe a 20 or 21-14 game.
Yep.
And then who knows? So, I mean, just like I've seen Ohio State do it so many times where they've scored at the end of the first half, getting the ball in the second half, and you end up giving up 2 touchdowns before you can even run an offensive play. So, I mean, it can be done. But, again, realistically, when you look at it for, 21 minutes so far in the game, Portsmouth hasn't been able to effectively maintain the ball, even though they
put together that first drive. They put together a good drive.
Yeah, but they get inside the 35, 40-yard line, and something happens to them. They just haven't been able to make the plays when the plays needed to be made. And, again, that's a sign of an experienced team. That's a sign of a veteran team, a well-coached team, and plenty of other little accolades. But, but they just haven't been able to do that. And give West Portsmouth some credit for playing defense as well. We talked about the Sissel kid being probably the best player on the field. That's on both sides of the ball because he's not only, carrying the rock, he's tackling everybody too. That kid's a scholarship football player. There's no question. I'm not sure he probably projects more as a linebacker at the next level than he does a running back because he's not explosive. He's more of a
smash
grinder.
Mouth.
Yeah, he's more of a pounder. He's going to give it to him here too. Watch.
The Senators going to go for 2 here. A pitch to Sissel to the right side. He'll try to cut it back up. And it's taken down around the 2-yard line. So the PAT attempt is no good. So that'll keep it at a 20-0 ball game here with 3:08 to go. After the missed extra point attempt on the first touchdown, they appear they're not going to go back to that here tonight. Thought they might go for 2 the next time to get it back to a multiple of 7. They do. They get it to 14. Thought they might go for the extra point or for the extra point here, but they decide to go for 2 again. It comes up unsuccessful. So that'll give Portsmouth 3:08 to maybe go down here, get in the end zone, get an extra point, make it 20-7. Start off the second half with the ball, and maybe go down, get in the end zone again.
I can tell you now, again, I'm not ready to use the word pressure, but it would help immensely if Portsmouth could manage to put a few first downs together and get on the board right before the half, and then take the second half kickoff and see what can happen.
Well, it would not only help literally, but it would also help mentally.
No. I'm thinking more. The mental part for me is more. The hill is not that steep.
But you definitely
but they're
score
definitely at the bottom of the hill right now.
Right. You need a good drive here just to get, the morale of the team back up. Is being down 20-0. It's, nobody's going to feel too good about that.
No.
So this kick
35
by the Senators is going to trickle out of bounds.
That helps.
That'll put the Portsmouth offense on the 35-yard line to start off this offensive drive. So Tyler Duncan going to look to find some of that magic he and that offense had last week against Lucasville Valley and try to lead this Trojan team down the field and get a score here.
Well, it sure would help.
Going to come out and trips to the right, trips to the top of the screen here.
Yeah, they're empty.
Duncan by himself once again.
See, they're only rushing 3.
Going to look to the left side, trying to get it to number 9.
A little bit behind him.
Number 9, Nathaniel Berry. That's his first target of the game. Pass falls incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 on their own 35. And the unfortunate thing about what Portsmouth has done tonight is you pass on first down, it's incomplete. Now you're almost forced to pass on second down.
I don't think you'll have to twist their arm to get them to throw the ball anyway. It's just what they do. You got to get rid of that.
Duncan under pressure once again. Going to cut it loose to the left side. Going up to grab it is Lattimore, but it will fall incomplete. Bring up a 3rd down and 10 with 2:56 to go in the half.
Again, now you get into a situation here where you have to make a first down to actually hang on to the ball, because handing these guys back the ball with 2:56 to go is not necessarily the situation that you want to put yourself in, for sure.
Same formation here, although to the bottom of the screen this time. Duncan
got him.
Cutting it over the middle, looking for Lattimore, who may have slowed up there towards the end of the route. Pass will fall incomplete. 3 and out here for the Trojans.
I tell you what, that was a great throw. And that ended up, I'm just going to call it, that was alligator arms.
Yep.
He makes that, and here's the thing, too. He makes that catch. He might.
They both were making a play on the ball,
yeah,
so if Lattimore comes away with it, guy obviously not going to make the tackle.
No, he's not. And that kid in the open space, that's a problem for West Portsmouth.
So this is definitely where disaster struck for the Trojans. A possession ago is the punt. I would say did not go as planned. Duncan back to punt. He'll get this one away, but it goes straight up in the air. And luckily bounced to the 50-yard line. Probably would have got a few more yards out of that roll, but it was recovered by somebody on the Trojan punt team.
I can tell you, too, I'm interested to see what happens here, because
it's at 2:42. That's a lot of time.
No,
what did it start off? 3:06.
It was 2:56 with 3rd down.
Right. So I think it was 3:06. So they ran right around 15, 20 seconds off the clock. But it was 3 straight incomplete pass plays. So you're not going to run a whole lot of clock off with 3 incomplete pass plays. So
I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but you understand the risk of what you're trying to do puts you in the situation you are now. Of course, no one was figuring on a 15-yard punt either. But if the kid hits a 30-yard punt, they're still on the 35-yard line.
So 1st and 10 here. Irwin going deep down the field. He's got a man. An almost nice grab by Bishop. It'll fall incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from their own from the Trojan 48. Tell you what, that was almost one of those, like we saw from Noah Brown back in 2015 at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You pin it to your defender's back. It was almost, one of those numbers, but.
You remember before the game, we absolutely got rained on that game.
Yep.
Remember? I mean, we got smashed.
Yep.
We were in a thunderstorm with nowhere to hide, brother.
Nope.
Yeah, we were wet that night. Not by the time the game started, we were dry.
Nope. 2nd and 10 here. Irwin drops back to pass, looking to the left side under a bit of pressure, going to take it himself. He'll pick up about 2 yards on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Again, I'm not sure, West Portsmouth didn't outthink themselves with 238 or 240, whatever it was.
Going for a deep play on the first play.
But you can run the football. You can run the football. I mean, you can.
Haven't had much of an answer
run
for
the
Sissel.
football here because you're still going to make a 1st down and have at least a minute and change left, and then you can take a couple shots if you want to. It almost looks like they're just meandering
playing
around
to the half.
Well, I don't know what they're doing. Now, if they're throwing the ball here, which I assume they are.
Going to come out in a twins look here. Sissel on the backfield with Irvin. He'll run a route to the left side. And Irwin
That's an incomplete
loses
pass.
it on the pass. I tell you what, the ball went like straight up in the air when he threw it. As of now, I believe they're going to rule it a fumble.
I would say that was an incomplete pass. But
if it was a fumble, the clock should be moving, should it not?
yeah, well, it is
And it
now.
is. So official ruling there going to be a fumble. So that'll bring up a 4th down, and we'll say 15. And the Trojans going to take a timeout. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Buying a car from the wrong dealership can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yuck!
But it's our mission at Glockner to make car buying a piece of cake.
Hooray!
Maybe it's our fast, friendly sales process, or that we don't play games with the numbers we show you. You'll get.
All right, so 4th and 15 here on their own 47-yard line. Back deep for the Trojans, Devin Lattimore. And back to punt for Portsmouth West, I believe, number 19, Brandon Barfield.
Uh-oh. He lucky that wasn't blocked.
Yep, going to get roughing the punter. I believe that's a 15-yard penalty. And most likely going to be a 1st down for the Senators.
Well, again, you go running into the kicker versus roughing.
Tell you what,
if it's
that's
a
not
personal
running
foul. I didn't see it. Yeah,
Yep.
it's personal foul. Wow.
that hurts.
So then you end up with the ball.
It'd be about on the
38.
9. Yep.
Yeah. And you got $1.25 again.
With 2
maybe,
timeouts.
Maybe not on Union at Southeastern about 3-4 years ago, but wow, you got to make plays. I mean, anytime you can add on, you want to try to add on, especially when you're not at risk.
So that'll give the Senators a fresh set of downs here, and that'll move them up into enemy territory on the Trojan, we'll call it 37.5-yard line. It's a game-changing penalty.
It is, especially if Portsmouth West makes a play here.
Come out and double Sissel and Irwin in the backfield. Same play they ran on 3rd down before. Going up deep, it's Bishop who makes the grab. A big-time play by Jeffrey Bishop. I wasn't sure if he came down with it.
I wasn't either.
They're going to give it to him, and that'll put him right down on the Trojan 5-yard line.
And Portsmouth's disposition is hanging in the balance right now. I don't think 20, but 27 or 28 might be, that hill might be a little bit steep. They haven't played very well. Now, they could come out and play better, but they haven't played very well.
Same formation here for West. Sissel to the left side, breaks a tackle, diving for the end zone, and he'll come up just short of the goal line. .42 seconds to go. Look like Portsmouth West may call a timeout here. And they will with 35 seconds to go here in the second quarter. So second and goal inside the 1-yard line. Guess we'll probably just see Irwin take it and lunge right over the goal line, or we see Sissel pound it right in.
Okay.
Although Sissel has not had a score tonight, I don't believe.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yep.
We know there's some ZA behind us, right?
Yeah.
Now it's a question of who's going to put who's on what plate. I say they give the ball to Sissel. If they give the ball to Sissel and he scores,
I got to get the pizza.
You got to get the pizza. If he keeps it or throws it for a score, then
I'll tell you what, I would put a lot of money saying no throw.
Oh, I don't think he's going to throw. He could sneak, but I think
sneak.
Why would you sneak when you got Sissel standing behind you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but we'll see. It could be a wild card, and they could hand it off to the fullback, Lore, like they've done
and he got
a couple
stuffed.
times. Yeah.
He got whacked, too. Okay, Triple I. Is there any doubt in your
Well,
mind?
Lore and Barfield are the two guys in between Sissel and Irwin.
This is Sissel left, Sissel right.
Go get the pizza.
Oh, my
Go get
God.
the pizza. Irwin.
Unbelievable.
Irwin sneaks it into the end zone for the Portsmouth West touchdown.
What's your pleasure, boy?
That puts them ahead 26-0 with 32 seconds to go.
Is that the first time they've run the Triple I and Sissel didn't get the ball?
It's the first time Sissel, or I think it's the first time they've ran Triple I and Irwin took it. I think they were in Triple I when they handed it off to Lore the first time.
Yeah. What do you think they do here?
I would not be surprised if it was Triple I, although this time.
No, I think they go full sprint out.
It could come out in the eye.
Now, we haven't seen the eye all day. Eye right.
Kind of a double tight right look. Irwin under center. Going to fake the pitch. Throwing to the left side. Incomplete. Intended target was Cole Tipton.
Just a little quick slant. Really and truly, pretty good coverage.
Yeah,
pretty good coverage. Do it behind him and high. But if he'd have had.
It was going to take an absolute perfect
he'd have had
throw.
thrown it in a pipe. Yeah, I mean, there was a window there, but it wasn't much of a window. I mean, John Elway can make that throw, but I don't think we're going to see that throw on a Friday night.
So a 26-0 lead here. Obviously 32 seconds. Not going to be enough time, even with a timeout, for Portsmouth to make anything happen. Although I say that, and I would assume Portsmouth West going to, probably get into something prevent or cover 4 or something like that. So, probably going to. A deep play is not likely.
Portsmouth probably going to take a knee.
Yeah.
Well, again, if he kicks it out of bounds and they get it on the 35, maybe that changes anything. But if he gets tackled anywhere inside, say, the 30 or 25-yard line, I think Portsmouth takes a knee.
On to kick for the Senators, number 35, Carson Malner.
It's out of bounds. Yeah.
He'll put it out of bounds. It went out about the 31, so really only a 4-yard penalty on the kickoff for the Senators.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. When a guy does that to me twice, I'm getting me a new kicker. Or we're going to spend some individual time on the practice field.
Well,
I mean, you just don't hand the ball to people on the 35-yard line. I mean, anything in play is okay.
Yep.
And you go down and you got, 10, 11 guys trying to tackle somebody. There, you have no chance. You're just handing them the ball. But what do we have? Something offsides because they're re-kicking this.
Yep, you're going to move him back.
he kicks this out of bounds again, I'm telling him to get on the bus. Look, obviously he hadn't spent enough time.
I'll be honest. I don't know. I mean, you move it. What was it? You move him back 5 yards. You think the Trojans able to get past the 35 here?
No, they'd have to get to the 40 now. But I'm saying no. I would have declined the penalty. I don't know if an offside. I don't know if you can decline that penalty. He's gonna do it again.
So this time Molnar able to keep it on the green turf. And the Trojans able to return it to about the 50-yard line. Right. So a good kick return there from Portsmouth. 26 seconds, one timeout.
Right.
But use the sideline plus your timeout. Probably going to see a couple out routes here. Probably not going to see much run game, although we haven't seen much of that from the Trojans anyways.
First and goal.
More or less. Trojans going to come out and trips to the boundary. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Duncan looking to his right. It's Lattimore who will run straight out of bounds and pick up about 4 on the play. Which, not a bad play. I just don't know if you have enough time even going out of bounds to do that all the way down the field. But you might be able to do it enough times to get into big play range. You know, I'm not 100% sure what kind of cannon Duncan has. If how far he's able. He may be able to get it to the end zone from here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Same look here for Portsmouth. This time looking left and right through the hands.
Probably best thing that could have happened because he would have gotten tackled on the field.
Intended receiver Nathaniel Berry. Incomplete pass will bring up 3rd and 6 with 18 seconds to go.
Now what you have to do is you have to complete this ball beyond the sticks, so at least you get a stop.
Get out of bounds.
Well, you go up and clock it.
Or that.
I mean, you can use your last time out and still take a shot, but you have to gain yards. You have to gain a first down on this play.
Well, clock stops once you get a first down.
No, until they spot it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can go up and clock it.
Duncan rolling to his left.
First down.
Looking for Lattimore. Got to get out of bounds. We've got a flag on the play. So this one could be coming back. Lattimore, about a 10-yard pickup. Although this one could be coming back.
I just know out of the corner of my eye, I saw 19 being blocked by 2 people, so I'm going to assume he was the one being held.
So I'd say that most likely puts Portsmouth out of scoring range here with basically 12 seconds to go on their own 41.
Well, it's 3rd and goal, bottom line, and you might not get a 4th down.
3rd and 59.
Yeah. They're just holding this running back in for a little extra protection.
Duncan, pump fake, going to be a draw. Hands it off. It's number 45, Bo Hammond.
Okay.
Able to get across the 50. 5 seconds to go. Still a timeout left.
Now you got to throw it deep.
Still not a first down, so it is 4th down.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And I'm not sure he can throw it because he's going to be standing about the 45. He has to throw the ball 55 yards to get it to the end zone. I'm not sure he can do that, but again, somebody got to make a play.
Yep, going to be a hold on number 69 of the offensive line here. Going downfield, almost a nice grab. It's picked off.
If he gets across the field here, no.
Time will expire.
Personal foul.
It was picked off by number 18. Jeffrey Bishop led the Senators in interceptions with 3 a season ago. I believe Lattimore took a big hit going up for the ball down the field.
He took a big hit, and then the guy from West Portsmouth took a late hit there at the end of the play. Well, if you're Portsmouth now, you got to go in and regroup and try to find something to be positive about. You do. The positive thing is that you have the ball to start the second half, and again, if you score there, you've got a chance to change the direction of the game. But again, it's going to be a tough uphill climb.
So 26-0 here in favor of the visiting team, the Portsmouth West Senators, here at the end of the first half. We'll step aside, leave the cameras up for the halftime show, and be back for the start of the second half. You are watching Ohio High School Friday Night Football right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
And welcome back to the Trojan Coliseum here at Portsmouth High School. We're about a minute 30 out from the kickoff of the second half. But before we do, and before we get to this game, we'll go ahead and give you some updates from around the area, as I believe they're doing here at the stadium as well. We'll start off with the halftime scores. Minford 27-0 over Chesapeake. McLean and Northwest tied at 14. Piketon 20-7 over Oak Hill. West Jefferson a 29-12 lead over Paint Valley. Logan Elm 21. Westfall nothing. Huntington 14-7 over Eastern Pike. London over Chillicothe 10-9. Unyoda a 21-0 lead over Amanda Clear Creek. And this game hasn't reached halftime yet, but it's late in the second quarter. Jackson 20-14 over Ironton. So a pretty big game there. I don't exactly know where that game is at, but a big game between those two tonight. And actually, I'm just getting word from our camera guy upstairs that Jackson is now up 26-14 over Ironton with 31 seconds left in the second quarter. So that'll be a pretty interesting game to follow. I'm not sure where you could find the score. I'm sure there's somebody there covering it for either us or some other news media, or you could check out SE Ohio Preps. There's usually a scoreboard on there for the around the area games. But for this one, a 26-0 first half lead for Portsmouth West. They're going to look to extend that here, although not quite yet, as the Trojans will start off this half on offense and probably going to need to find the end zone here in a very serious way. And they'll take the kickoff just beyond their own 40-yard line. A nice return by number 13, J.T. Williams. And they're going to officially mark it right at the 40, which is where Tyler Duncan and this Trojan offense will try to get something going here in the second half.
Well, obviously, they didn't go in with a lot of momentum, but certainly had a lot to coach at halftime, and we'll see how they respond. Again, the same 2-2 with the pistol look, and West Portsmouth sitting in a cover 4.
Duncan going to turn, hand it off. That's Hammond. He'll slip and fall down, but not before picking up 4 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from their own 44-yard line.
Again, we said from the beginning of the game that West Portsmouth is just daring Portsmouth to try to run the football. And again, to me, 4 yards on a running play is a successful play. We'll see if they can build off of that. Again, the same look with the 2x2 and the pistol. 3-man front.
Duncan going to look to throw, looking to the left side. He's got his man. It's Reed Pendleton who gets across the 50-yard line, and a couple more. That's good for a Trojan first down. And really, we've seen a spark out of this Trojan offense we haven't seen since their first drive of the ball game.
Well, if you remember right, they started off not with the run, but they started this, and again, I would call it controlled passing, which is almost like a long handoff. But that time they got a good inside block on the level 2 guy and gave him a little bit of running space. And Portsmouth has athletes. There's no question they have athletes.
So a big pickup there from Pendleton gives the Trojans a fresh set of downs here. This time going the other way, I believe that's Pendleton again who gets across the 40-yard line and even deeper.
I think it's first down.
Into Senator territory. I think it'll be just short of the first down. Now they're going to give it to him. Back-to-back first down catches and runs for Reed Pendleton, and this is as deep into Senator territory as the Trojans have been since that first drive of the ball game.
And on a positive note, again, this should be a run. Yep.
Going to hand it off right up the middle. That's Hammond.
A good 4 or 5 yard pickup. Again, puts them in a manageable position, especially in 4-down territory. And if they can score here and get a stop, and then maybe get things going away, and let's see what happens. Now, if they follow suit again here, they're looking for that little spot route with the inside receiver on either side. And again, if you're following Portsmouth football, that's a running play in their philosophy. Again, the 2x2 with the pistol. So look at the 2 inside receivers.
So 2nd and 7 here on the 33-yard line. Duncan looks to the left.
It's a first down. No, need about 2.
Completes it to his brother, Jaden Duncan. All right, at least I believe to be his brother.
I'm sure they're related. Again, an extremely manageable third
and 1.
third and maybe about a half a yard.
So
what do you do here,
one
Dewey?
here, probably handed off to Hammond, as he's had some success between the guards. He may have a measurement here, as it is extremely close. The first down marker right on.
I think it's a first down.
26-yard line.
But I thought it was a first down on the play.
It's about
Again, with that three-man front, it's almost a given a yard or two here.
Duncan going to hand it off. That's Hammond. Bounces it out to the right side across the 25.
Good run. It's a really good run.
And another Trojan first down.
Kind of got jammed up a little bit inside. He kind of dipped his shoulder in, got outside, made hay. What do you think, Dewey?
Well, from the success they've had,
I was going to say he's going to throw it, but he's empty, so he's definitely going to throw it.
Duncan by himself. Going to motion
sweet.
a guy. That's Pendleton. And we will have a flag on the play. Going to be a false start against the Trojans. That'll move them back 5 to 1st and 15 from the Senator 31.
Yeah, I mean, people don't get caught up in the 5 yards, but what that does is it just destroys your rhythm.
Yep.
You were going and you had flow and it was happening, and then you get these little dinky little nothing penalties, but it just destroys the momentum and the flow of the drive. Now they're in a little bit different a situation, but again, they're in the 2-by-2 with the pistol.
Duncan in the shotgun, directly behind him, Reed Pendleton.
Well, they're trying to take away that spot route. See how they're playing closer on him?
Two receivers both ways.
He may have changed that play at the line of scrimmage.
Hammond right up the gap, just short of the 15-yard line. Gets him to what I believe will be about a 2nd and 5 or 6 yards here.
I really believe that he changed that play at the line of scrimmage, which was smart because I think they were looking at the inside receivers, and West Portsmouth came up and pressed them, which is what you should do, forced them into a running situation. And again, they're just begging them to run. They're just begging them to run.
So 2nd and 5 here in the Senator's 16-yard line, 8:31 to go.
See how the guy's off on the inside guy over here?
Looking to the right side,
that's
it's Duncan.
touchdown.
He's got his man, Pendleton,
First down.
across the first down line, inside the 10-yard line. And a prime opportunity here to get in the end zone for the Trojans.
Now, the problem with what they've done to get where they're at is it becomes really tough to do what they've done where they're at now, because you will get pressed here. What's nice is if Portsmouth West does stay in a 3-man front, they should be able to run the football. And they are. They got 3 down linemen and a linebacker. This should be a run.
Duncan going to hand it off again. It's Hammond who's met by a mob of Senator defenders. He'll be driven straight back, most likely either a loss of 1 or no gain on the play.
You lost about a yard.
Bring up 2nd and goal.
I like the play call. Don't like the result. And that's where the hay is. The hay is between the tackles. It would make no sense to run outside where all the nonsense is. Again, we go with this quad empty look. This has been full sprint out in the past. Yep.
4-man rush from the Senators, looking to the left side. He's got his man. It's Pendleton diving to the pylon, and he's in for the Trojan touchdown. Their first of the night. Hammond able to get the Trojans on the board with 7:10 to go here in the third quarter.
Again, individually, a very, very accurate throw and an outstanding effort by the wideout.
Great diving try there by Reed Pendleton. On to kick the PAT, Bo Roden. And the PAT is good. The first good PAT we've seen tonight. With a good extra point. The first good extra point we've seen tonight. And that gets Portsmouth on the board, 26-7 in favor of the Senators. We'll be right back after this. You are watching Ohio High School Friday Night Football right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Welcome back in here to the Trojan Coliseum. Portsmouth finally able to get in the board. It was a Tyler Duncan to Reed Pendleton pass and catch for a touchdown. Back deep here for the Senators, number 18, Jeffrey Bishop, as well as number 13, Cole Tipton. Looks like Tipton going to receive the kickoff right on his own 20. We'll take it up, cross the 30, just short of the 35-yard line, which is where Mitchell Irwin and Ryan Sissel and the rest of the Senator offense will look to get things going.
Now we'll see if we see anything different from West Portsmouth. I'm assuming there wouldn't have been much to change, but again, let's hope people don't outthink themselves. Again, this is... Oh, they're under center. They're under center. So they're in what we would call a lion.
Irwin just going to take it ahead by himself. Gets to the 40-yard line. About to pick up a 6 there. A nice run by Mitchell Irwin. Bring up a 2nd down and 4. Just short of their own 40-yard line.
Again, same thing, lion.
Yep. Same formation here for the Senators. This time, going to hand it off. It's Sissel to the left side. And he'll get across the 45-yard line and more, almost breaking away across the 50. Just a physical runner is Ryan Sissel as he gets into Trojan territory. He gets a new set of downs for the Senator offense.
Well, I promise you that was a 10 or 12-yard run, and about 10 or 11 of it was after contact.
Yep.
And the guy that got in there last, he was looking for his mom because he lost his headgear.
So new set of downs here for Portsmouth West. I formation, they'll hand it off right up the middle. Number 19, Brandon Barfield.
Again, just a simple fullback trap. Again, out of that, what we call a lion look, which is tight left, twins right. And again, if you're West Portsmouth, this is probably what you should do because this will shorten the game. You're still up 3 scores. If you can play like this and score, you're making it impossible regardless of what Portsmouth's able to get done on offense.
Just under 5:30 to go here in the third quarter. Irwin originally dropping back to pass will take it himself and is brought down just short of the 40-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and 1 to go.
What do you think happens here?
Say it's probably Ryan Sissel.
Yeah, and I say they go lion into the boundary and run right off tackle to the left behind the tight end. Oh, my. I'm a genius, ain't I? Watch. This will be off tackle to the right. He may bounce it. It's outside zone is what it is. They'll lead the fullback on the edge.
Irwin under center, going to hand it off. Sissel breaking tackles And breaking away across the 30-yard line, a big pickup for Ryan Sissel.
Again, give the West Portsmouth coaching staff credit for being able to run that play out of the same formation to both sides of the formation. They had me thinking left and pulled the trigger right. It's actually a better play to the Twins than it is the tight end, but again, when you have a physical advantage up front and a running back like Sissel, you can just about run any play you want.
For the D-line and linebackers,
That's a nightmare.
Tiring.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a train wreck. It's a car wreck. See, now they're going to run
flip it to the left side. It's Sissel across the 25, getting to the 20-yard line before being taken down. About an 8 or 9 yard run there, maybe enough for a first down.
It's a little bit short. But there was definitely a holding on the edge there that the officials missed. The guy from West Portsmouth absolutely tackled the guy from Portsmouth. And then he splashed him on top of that. Well, he splashed. He threw him on the ground, and then he splashed him like he was WWE.
So a second and short here for Portsmouth West.
What do you do here? Again,
Irwin probably going to take it himself.
No, I think it's Sissel. Sissel's not even in the game.
Handoff right up the middle. That's number 19, Brandon Barfield.
First down. Good, tough run. They're giving Sissel a break. You know why? Because they're going to wait till they get down here about the 7 or 8 yard line. Old boy's going to come in again. I mean, the kid don't come off the field.
All right, plays both sides, makes a ton of tackles on defense, gets a lot of carries on offense.
Yeah. You'll let a kid like that be a little bit late to the facility tomorrow morning, that's for sure. He'll have a tough time getting out of bed in the morning. But it won't be the first time or the last.
I believe Mason Parker in the backfield now for Portsmouth West. Irwin just going to take it himself, go straight ahead. Maybe a yard there for Irwin.
Again, I'm not, first down and 10, and that's the second time on this drive they went court. And I realize they gained 6 yards or 7 yards that first time, but my whole problem is that's not the guy you want getting hit all the time. You've got something better than that. And again, here they pick up a couple, 2 or 3, and I realize the other time they picked up 6, but first and 10, sneaking the quarterback. I mean, you got other players. And again, maybe he doesn't want to risk. That's what you get is you get no risk but no reward. But guess who's back in the game?
That'd be Ryan Sissel.
I bet he touches it too.
Looking to find some blue turf here. Sissel to the left side. Cuts it back. A spin move from Sissel. But not to much avail. Maybe a yard picked up on the play.
Again, outside zone left, and Portsmouth had an answer for it. And the way you tackle a kid like Sissel is you've got to get numbers to the ball. There they took away the outside, and he tried to cut back, and he had pursuit all up in him, and he just had no room to operate. And he's not an elusive runner. He's definitely not an elusive runner.
He's like Master Teague.
Yeah, without the speed. Yeah, people, they'll forget about Master Teague, but I still remember the run he had at Northwestern where he looked like Jesse Owens. I mean, he Master Teague could fly, but he just didn't have he wasn't very elusive, and I don't think he had great vision, but he's a stud of an athlete and a freak of nature.
Irwin going to flip it
Touchdown.
To the left side. That is Sissel diving across the 5 yard line. That'll put him at first and goal at about the 4 yard line.
And again, just a perfect drive by West Portsmouth. They give up the score in about 5 or 6 minutes. They get the ball with 7 minutes left in the third. And this quarter could end.
Pretty quick quarter.
Yes, this quarter could end without them scoring.
Yep.
Because is it not now? It's first and goal at the 5. So if they run 2 more plays and don't score, and still have 2 plays to score, we could end up here at the other end of the field.
I would not hold my breath of that happening. I would say.
You think they're just going to absolutely block them into the end zone?
I'd say Sissel's going to get rewarded here.
Well, they're in that triple I, baby. Oh, he was definitely going to get it.
And Portsmouth West going to take a quick timeout here.
In all my days of coaching and at the college level and at the high school level, there was only one team that ran that triple I, Westfall. Yeah, Westfall ran it with Keith Downing. And honestly, I think when we saw it in 1994, I don't think we'd seen it in our film study. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, my God, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? And they weren't just right and left. They ran counters off of it and other stuff. They're pretty creative with it. But there's only so much you can do with double tight, triple I.
Right. Caveman football, but
well, it's
when
what
you
I
have a
call
running
Jim
back,
Tharp football.
when you have a running back like in this case Ryan Sissel, it's a tough thing to. I mean, you even know the run is coming, and that's
the problem.
It's still tough to stop. And plus, with this team, it's not like Mitchell Irwin can't throw. We've seen him throw tonight. First first drive of the game, he hooked up with Jeffrey Bishop for a 57-yard score. Now, has Irwin thrown a whole lot? He probably hasn't completed 10 passes.
Here's what I'm
tonight,
telling you, too. We've mentioned Sissel's name all night long on both sides of the ball, but he's not the only player on West Portsmouth's team.
Right.
They're pretty good up front. Their quarterback is very serviceable. They've got a couple other athletes as well. What do you think, Dewey, left or right? They ran left before the timeout.
That's going to be left. It's going to be
scored.
Number 7, Hayden Lohr, finding the end zone for his first touchdown of the game.
See, that's good to see, too, because they did other things out of the triple I. Because if you noticed, what they did is they made that look like toss sweep.
Yep.
And it created a little bit of space for the fullback, and the next thing you know, he's on the green turf or the blue turf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen Lohr get a few carries. The last two, didn't get a whole lot of yardage, but they're obviously not only needing 4 yards.
He's not a big kid, but he's a physical kid.
Yep. Same formation here for Portsmouth West. And this time it's going to be Sissel diving ahead. And they're going to give it to him. A successful 2-point conversion attempt puts the Senators ahead 34-7 over the Portsmouth West Trojans. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at sosaohio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's sosaohio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
And welcome back to the Trojan Coliseum. Portsmouth West able to answer and get in the end zone for a 2-point conversion, leading 34-7 with 47.8 seconds to go here in the third quarter. This kick
fired.
Going to sail out of bounds.
Fire. I'm going to be a new special teams guy.
Which will allow the Trojans to start off this drive on their own 35-yard line.
You know what's funny about that whole situation? He's kicked that ball 4 times.
Right there.
No, I'm saying within a yard of the same spot.
Right at the 30-yard, the little rectangle styrofoam
and look,
marker.
They're offsides again.
So what do you think the chances are? He kicks this to the left side. I can't see a number, but
the
guy standing on the 40.
No, the guy standing on 25. He catches it. Watch.
He takes it across the 50.
He's going to catch, yes, near it. He'll catch it moving up. Because here's what I'm saying. Why is he even standing there? He should move over and be standing on the 30, on that 0.
Yeah.
Because he's going to kick this ball inbounds this time. Watch. Now, why didn't he do that the first time? See?
That picked up right around the 35-yard line, crossed the 40, 45, and just short of the 50-yard line is the return for the Trojans. Was number 13, J.T. Williams on the return for Portsmouth. Pretty good field position here for Portsmouth starting off this drive, but, when you're down 27 points, it's going to be an uphill battle, especially when there's only 12 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the game.
Here's what I'm saying. Portsmouth can play perfect offensively and still lose this game by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Easy.
Yep.
Because honestly, I don't want to say this now because we're 42 seconds left in the third quarter. There's not enough time for them to get back in this game. Plus, they haven't stopped them.
Yep.
That's the biggest problem.
You're just going to have extremely time-efficient drives, and
you're going to have to
jump on a couple onside kicks.
And something, yeah.
So Duncan going to hand it off to Hammond to the right side. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
He lost probably 2 yards.
Looks like they're going to mark him back a yard. That'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They do not have to run a play.
Yeah, about 7 seconds difference. About 8 seconds.
It looks like
difference.
Duncan, the way he's walking over, probably not going to run a play. So that'll take us to the end of the to the end of the third quarter with Portsmouth West out in front 34-7 over the Portsmouth Trojans. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School Friday Night Football right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Buying a car from the wrong dealership can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yuck!
But it's our mission at Glockner to make car buying a piece of cake.
Hooray!
Maybe it's our fast, friendly sales process, or that we don't play games with the numbers we show you. You'll get a detailed proposal with full disclosure on your purchase that makes sense. No tricks or hidden fees. Plus, stop by any Glockner location for a 15-minute KBB vehicle appraisal, and we'll give you big cash for your vehicle same day, even if you don't buy one from us. And for this month only, new and pre-owned vehicle buyers get their first oil change for free. That's piece of cake car buying. We make it easy at Glockner.com.
12 minutes to go here in this crosstown rivalry matchup between the Portsmouth Trojans and Portsmouth West Senators. Duncan rolling out to his left. Doesn't look like he has anywhere to go. Going to throw it. Intended target. Looks like it's Jaden Duncan, but obviously almost putting this one in the, actually did put that one in the stands. Would bring up a 3rd and 11 from their own 47.
Again, smart move by Portsmouth. They took that 4th receiver and blocked the edge, and it bought time for the quarterback. But again, toughest thing in football is a quarterback running to the left.
So it's running to the opposite of
opposite
whatever.
of your hand.
You're running to the right.
And really what happened was the quarterback never did get squared up to the line of scrimmage, and you can't make an accurate throw. And to be quite honest, it was defended pretty well.
Duncan going to fake the handoff to Hammond and throw a screen pass to Hammond. He'll take it to the left side and be brought down just past the 50-yard line. A pickup of what appears to be 5 or 6 yards on the play.
You see who tackled him?
No, but I'm going to take a guess and say it was Ryan Sissel.
It absolutely was. He wasn't getting away from him. And he wasn't the only one, but I mean, he had 2 good handfuls of the guy.
So 4th down and 6 here on the Senator 48-yard line. Obviously, you got to go for it. I'm not sure what I really don't know what the Trojans are going to do here.
They're going to sprint out to the right here. Watch.
Huh? Actually, they're going to take a timeout with 11:08 to go here in the 4th quarter.
I really thought we were going to see some trickeration when I seen him do that.
At a fake timeout.
Fake timeout, walk in motion, and direct snap it to a guy and reverse it to whatever, and who knows. But I thought we were going to see some trickeration. I thought we were going to see
trickery,
some punt Ruski.
So next week for the Trojans, they travel to Spring Valley.
I don't even know where that's at.
To take on the Timberwolves. It is in Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh, that's why I don't know where it's at.
So a bit of a trip there for the Trojans for their Week 3 matchup. As for the Senators, they go back home and take on Adena.
So Portsmouth goes to Huntington, and West Portsmouth goes to Huntington Ross?
No.
Or Adena?
Yeah. Portsmouth West going to travel. No, Portsmouth West going to host Adena next week.
Oh, okay.
And Portsmouth Trojans is going to travel to Huntington, West Virginia to take on the Spring Valley Timberwolves.
He's not
Duncan
going to make it. He's not
going to scramble.
He didn't make it.
Just in front of the
about
first down marker.
Yard and a half, 2 yards short.
I believe it was Sissel ended up chasing him out of bounds. So it'll go down as a turnover on downs for the Trojans. And the Senators will take over on their own 42 or 43 yard line here with exactly 11 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Again, if you're Portsmouth High School, if there was any hope, that probably dashed it.
Yep.
Because
right here, Portsmouth West probably going to run 6 or 7 minutes off, and probably
that's what they wanted.
Going to get in the end zone as well as.
And I can even see some clean shirts coming in for Portsmouth, but we'll see what West Portsmouth does here. But I do not think we'll see a forward pass.
Hand off to Sissel, who's met at the line, just maybe a yard there for Sissel.
Good tough yard, yeah.
Bring up a 2nd down and 9. Sissel going out of the game for what could maybe be the last time tonight. We may see somebody else running the ball. As of now, I believe the running back in the game is Mason Parker. Haven't got enough fit yet. It is Mason Parker who gets across the 45. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, about 2.
Again,
just inside zone, simple plays, low-risk plays, move the clock. If you're West Portsmouth, you'll run the ball here on 3rd down and gladly punt without a turnover.
Yep.
So I still at this point don't think it's necessary to throw the ball.
So 3rd and 8, Irwin under center. High formation here for the Senators. Fullback number 19, Brandon Barfield. Handoff will go to number 2, Mason Parker, who pushing ahead has the first down. There is a flag.
I have no idea what the flag is.
It will be against the Senators. So that'll push them back. I didn't exactly see what the call of the penalty was.
I didn't either. I know it happened near the middle of the field, and it was probably 10 yards behind the play.
So it looks like that'll move them back 5 yards. I don't think it was a 10-yard penalty. Oh, it was a 10-yard penalty. So that'll make it 3rd down and 18. Third and 18 from their own 36. Irwin under center.
Still run the football. Yeah.
He'll flip it to the right side. It's Parker across the 40, barreling ahead across the 45. And taken down right at the 45. Maybe they might give him the 46-yard line. About a 9 or 10-yard run there from Mason Parker. And I tell you what, that's a pretty physical run.
They definitely traded paint, that's for sure.
So 4th and 9 here.
Still took about 2.5, 3 minutes off the clock without making a first down. they'll gladly punt the ball back and allow Portsmouth to do what they want to do. That's the quarterback punting too, isn't it? All you got to do is put your foot on the ball. They're offsides.
I think we got Portsmouth offsides here. A pretty nice
they were
punt.
Drawn off. Might have been drawn off. No, they got Portsmouth.
So that'll move it up to 4th down and 4. With 8:26 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that ain't much sense to me.
And I think they have him offsides again. That'll be a first down for Portsmouth West.
And I'll just say that it's been that kind of night for Portsmouth. Not you know, I don't want to take anything away from West Portsmouth, but Portsmouth has just time and time again made some fairly silly mistakes with penalties and a little bit of other stuff and drop passes and
obviously
it hadn't been their best football game.
Well, you have Portsmouth West who, you know, is more so just trying to run the clock out. You take Sissel out. You have Parker in here who's doing a great job filling in for Sissel. You know, you get a 10-yard penalty that moves it to 4th or it was 3rd and 18. Parker breaks off a 9-yard run, makes it 3rd down and 4th and 9.
Who's back in the game too, don't you?
No.
The Jolly
may want to go score here.
Nah, they don't want to score.
Sissel to the left side.
Sissel wants to score.
Close to the 40-yard line and will be taken down right about there. Yeah, 4th down and 9, 2 straight encroachment calls when the other team's lined up to punt. That's definitely not something you want to make a habit of. 2nd down and 5.
Here I'm going to go out on a limb and say Portsmouth was not attempting to try to block that punt either. So what's the big deal with the rush? You know, it's just silly. But it is what it is. I mean, these are some of these guys that are playing out here. This may be their first real taste of not only high school football, but sometimes you get that junior, senior, sophomore kid it's his first time playing football. And if you didn't play football when you were in the 3rd and 4th grade, and for me 100 years ago, it was 5th grade, you don't have sometimes those instinctual muscle memory, been there before types experience to draw on. You're susceptible to those types of things. And again, there's no replacement for, you look at a baseball player. You know, you show me a good baseball player, and it's probably a kid that was hitting balls off a tee when he was 3 years old and knocking his grandmother's wig off with a wiffle ball. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the kid that's the player. Just like I saw a video of this kid. This kid couldn't have been 2 years old. He's left-handed too, and he was just bouncing balls off his mom's forehead. Just ripped. She couldn't get out of the way of it. I should have shared that video, but it's hysterical. She was grooving him, and he was just whacking them. And some of them, like I said, were bouncing right off of her forehead.
So Mason Parker back in the game for the Senators. 2 receivers to the left, I formation for Portsmouth West. It's going to be Parker straight ahead, who I believe had just enough for the Senator first down. If not extremely close. They're going to go ahead and give it to him here. So a new set of downs for Portsmouth West.
You know, that kid's 5'11", 180, and he's a sophomore. That kid, you're going to have to deal with that kid for a couple of years.
You got him next year.
Next 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that kid, he looks good to me, too.
Yeah, Sissel out the door with a graduation at the conclusion of this year. And, you know, Mason Parker looks to be next in line to carry the workload.
Maybe somebody in Southern Ohio have to put an NIL deal together and get him over at their school with the way things are going now.
Flip to Parker to the left side, gets across the 35. Looks like he had a gain of 2 or 3, maybe 4 on the play.
And a good sign of any kind of experienced running back is a kid that always lands on his front.
Yep.
This kid finishes runs, and the way you do that is you have to get your weight out over your toes and get your shoulder pads under stuff. And this kid definitely runs with a forward lean. Now, he ain't got the size that Sissel has, but that kid's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. And 2 years from now, he may be that type of kid. That's a pretty good-looking sophomore kid.
2nd down and 8, 6:37 to go here in the fourth quarter. Parker in the backfield, going to hand it off.
Run.
It's 33, Cole Windsor straight ahead.
That's a great run. He ran that exactly the way the play was blocked.
Taken down just short of the first down marker around the 25-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd down and 1. You think they punch it in here?
I don't think they care. I just think if they run out of football field, they will. They're just running plays.
Well, truly, you can't really tell your guys like Parker, and obviously the ball gets away from Windsor there.
He had room, too.
They'll bring up maybe a 4th and 2. He may have lost a yard on the fumble. But when you put in your Deuce Cats and guys like Parker, who you can tell once Sissel is gone, or maybe Sissel goes down this year, this is your guy next in line. You can't really tell him go out there and fall down, or go out there and do not score.
No, you're never going to do that. It's not your job. It's their job to tackle him. I give you the football, you run.
And straight ahead, Windsor has enough for the Portsmouth West 1st down.
Now, I will say this, and it's not likely with 5 minutes to go. West Portsmouth is just going to run plays.
Yep.
They're not trying to score. But like you said, we're not going to hand the ball off to a guy and tell him, you get what
2 yards and fall down.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. In fact, you would be doing a disservice to Portsmouth. You'd be doing a disservice to the game. You play hard till the game's over. We're trying to block people. We're trying to run. We're trying to do things here.
This time going to be Windsor again, straight ahead, brought down right at the line of scrimmage by number 52, Dylan Sanderlin. Maybe Sonderlin. If you're Portsmouth, this is just one that you're just going to have to put behind you and move on with your season. Obviously, pretty long trip. Yeah, I don't know how far Huntington, West Virginia is.
It's not that far.
I'd say at least an hour.
Somewhere right at that at the most. It's just across the bridge from Ironton. And Portsmouth traditionally has always played Ironton.
Here goes Parker to the left side. He's got some room to run across the 10 and taken down right at the 5-yard line. A 17-yard run for Mason Parker.
He got whacked pretty good, too. Again, good that he didn't run out of bounds. A good, smart, heady play there that he stayed in. But I honestly think he stayed in bounds because he was trying to score. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he could have stepped out, but he said, nah, I'm not. I think I can get this in there. And now, again, with 4 minutes to go and the ball on the 5-yard, it's almost impossible for Menford.
You're either going to have to score or turn it over.
That's
more
right.
Or less.
That's right. Yeah, the only way they don't score is if they turn it over.
Same formation here for Portsmouth West. Irwin gives it to Parker, who bounces it out to the left side, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much else, maybe a yard or two on the play.
Yeah.
Next play, depending on how long they run the play clock down, will probably run us under 3 minutes.
You are looking at, 7 minutes. So you'd be 53.
No, you'd be
253. Yeah.
Well, no, it's because the.
Oh, it's 7 over,
yeah.
So it's 7. It'd be 3:07. Yeah.
So unless they get in the end zone here, I'd say after this play, it'll be under 3 minutes to go in the game. Once again, same formation for Portsmouth West. Parker straight ahead, barreling through defenders.
Oh, my.
Got a flag on the play.
And you said this game last year was a 40-something to something game?
It was Portsmouth 33, Portsmouth West 7.
Okay.
Now a big thing in that game was Portsmouth West had 4 fumbles lost and 1 interception, 0 turnovers for the Trojans a season ago.
Yeah.
So in a 33-7 game like that, I'd say that's pretty big influence on the outcome of the game. Obviously, I don't think we've had any turnovers for either team. I know we did have an interception, but that was at the end of the half, I believe. So 2nd and goal from the 17-yard line.
You want me to tell you what this is? Toss.
Probably Parker to the right side, I would say.
Toss.
And Parker gonna run it to the right side, taken down a little bit behind the 25-yard line. It'll bring up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, remember about 5 minutes ago we said the only way they don't score was if they turn it over or whatever. We didn't think about no penalties.
Yeah. So 3rd and goal from the Trojan 26-yard line. 2:18 to go in this one.
Now, again, here's a situation that most people don't understand. I got no problem if West Portsmouth decides to throw here because they're just playing football. Now, they probably won't, but they would have every right in the world to do it because it's 3rd and goal at the 26-yard line. And now they're burning timeouts. But again, you know, a situation like this could actually come, you know, a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever, come to help them if they get in this type of situation again, in a situation where the game is much closer.
So 34-7, I'd say most likely going to be the final here from the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio. Not only a good game from Ryan Sissel, but we talked about, you know, a great game from the Senator offensive line. And, you know, when it hasn't been Sissel, Irwin has done a pretty solid job making throws. Receivers like Bishop, receivers like Bishop, Blevins, and Tipton have all done a great job making the catches. But, you know, when you have a guy like Sissel and you can rely on him getting 6, 7, 8 yards a carry, not only does it open up the pass game, but it makes it to where you don't have to rely on that pass game as much.
Well, and I think that, again, we talked about this before in the first half. You know, the quarterback is more than serviceable. The running back is a powerful, yet not very elusive, or not actually he's not a track kid either. But they're pretty good up front. The kid is a serviceable thrower who has serviceable receivers and an outstanding running back. And then what they've done that we haven't talked about very well is they've done an outstanding job of defending Portsmouth tonight. They just have. Anytime that you give up 7 points in a high school football game, you should win the game. And they've done that. And granted, this hasn't been Portsmouth's finest hour either, but regardless, West Portsmouth deserves some of the credit for that.
So lining up in the same formation here are Irwin, Windsor, Parker. And it'll be Parker up the middle, across the 25-yard line, a turnover on downs for the Senators. And that'll run us to 1 minute and 1 second left here in the 4th quarter. So the next few games for Portsmouth West, obviously going to get a win here tonight. You go home, you host Adena next week.
You win that game.
You go to Wellston the week after.
You win that game too.
And then you travel to the, I don't know if it's KIPP. It says the KIPP Columbus.
Is that Columbus Academy?
The KIPP Columbus Jaguars.
I don't even know I have no idea what that is.
And that'll wrap up league play or non-conference play for them. And then we'll start off conference play in the SOC2 with Waverly on September 23rd. And then obviously they'll finish out their season playing SOC2 opponents you look over for Portsmouth, obviously we said they got to go to West Virginia next week, and that wraps up non-conference play for them. They'll open up league play with Rock Hill at home on September 9th. That's followed up by Gallia Academy, which is also at home, before they travel to Dawson Bryant. That's in Coal Grove on September 23rd. So only one more non-conference game for the Trojans here in this 2021 season. Looking to the left side. He's got a man. It's number 10, Nolan Highland. Or sorry, I believe that was Reed Pendleton on the catch. Flipped the field there for the Trojans with 47.2 seconds left in this contest. Duncan in the shotgun, Hammond directly behind him. It'll be a pass. That's to number 40, Pendleton, who breaks a tackle to the 25-20, staying in bounds before losing his balance and falling out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Actually, I believe they're going to mark him right at the 10.
Again, give credit to the Portsmouth kid and the Portsmouth staff. Even though this game has been probably, decided, fairly long, a couple possessions ago, but regardless, the Portsmouth kids are playing hard. And there's things to be learned here, and again, these things you don't know how much of an impact they may have down the road. So you just, you play it out till that thing hits 0-0-0. You keep playing.
Well, the best way I would look at it here, you get in the end zone here, you win the second half. And it looks like they're just going to knee it out, which due to the play clock now being at 40 seconds, and the game clock being at 30, that will be the final play of the game here from the Trojan Coliseum. The final, Portsmouth West 34, Portsmouth 7. So with the win, Portsmouth West gets their first win of the season, moving them to 1-1. Also 1-1 will be the Trojans after tonight's game. Obviously, we said they'll go play in West Virginia next week, as the Senators will host Adena out of the SVC for their Week 3 contest. Well, there really isn't much to say about the game. Just a really dominating win for the Senators. I mean, right out of the gate, you had the 57-yard bomb to Jeffrey Bishop out of the gates, and, that whole possession, that was probably about a 3-play drive. First two plays, I don't even know if Sissel had a carry on the drive, but after that, on the second drive, you saw a lot of Sissel. Third drive, a lot of Sissel. Really, other than the first drive, it was mainly Ryan Sissel. And we saw some other guys. Cole Tipton made a grab or two. So did Alex Blevins. Irwin snuck it in down here on the goal line right before the end of the first half. For Portsmouth, Duncan, when they wanted to pass, he just, under a lot of pressure, made it tough to get the ball out. And running the ball, you kind of looked at their running game, and it kind of picked up in the second half. They had a really good drive to start the second half, but, when you're down 4 scores, running the ball isn't always going to be the most efficient way. But when you're down 4 scores, there really isn't, a key way to get back in the game. You just got to get in the end zone, but, with 24 minutes, you got to have pretty quick defensive possessions and pretty quick offensive possessions to get back into the game.
Well, and the bottom line is when you get in a situation like that, if the other team doesn't play back to you a little bit, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, that the one thing that you were saying kind of going around the long way around the yard is West Portsmouth pretty much did what they wanted to do, and Portsmouth couldn't stop them. And then you turn it around on the other side, and Portsmouth just never did quite get going. Now, their best possession of the game was the first possession of the second half. If you turn around and you make that the first possession of the game, which you can't, and ifs and buts, you know how that goes, maybe it's a different ball game. If these two teams played again, don't think for a second that Portsmouth is not, capable or competitive enough to play or win against these guys. But you don't get second chances. They had a chance tonight, and really, truly, the better team won.
So the final here from the Trojan Coliseum, Portsmouth West 34, Portsmouth 7. And that's all we have for you tonight here. I'm Dewey Daly. Alongside me tonight, my dad, Tim Daly. Carson helped us out a lot on the camera.